Namaste, good evening, Vande Mataram. Welcome to all my friends for today's live discussion on a very special topic which is very close to my heart. Uh, Friends, those who are following the India's military program and those who are interested in the security apparatus of our country, they must be knowing about Kaveri Engine program of the DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. So today we are going to talk about Kaveri Engine program. Now, Kaveri Engine program, as you might be knowing, is very important for India's self-defense because this jet engine technology is very crucial and India needs it badly. But the problem was that India started with this jet engine technology program way back in 1988 when Rajiv Gandhi sanctioned some X amount for the development of a jet engine because India realized that we should have our own jet engine technology. So it was started. But at that time, India didn't have much resources. And in 1990, we almost got bankrupt and we had to mortgage our gold. The Reserve Bank had to mortgage our gold and take loans from outside. But after that, we introduced the liberalization scheme and then India prospered and it prospered vigorously. And now we have a lot of money to, spend on all those things. So what happened was that initially the jet engine technology that we required was for a very small aircraft, in the sense that uh, at that time nobody thought of a 100 kilonewton engine. It was thought that 40 to 50 kilonewton would be sufficient. So accordingly, the money was spent for that development. And jet engine technology is very complex, no doubt about it. So it takes a lot of time and energy to, fine tune it, to make it sustainable and to master it. So a lot of money is required. Jet engine technologies, the expertise is lying with very few countries. Americans are the champions; they are the number one in that. They have got three, four companies. Then France has it, Britain has it, and the Russians have it. So there are only three, four countries which have the jet engine, and the European Union. So these countries, they keep the technology within themselves, and they sell only the aircraft, and they are not ready to part that knowledge with anyone. And naturally, because it's a very lucrative business for them. So we started with that technology development program, but it was deliberately failed because the money sanction was very limited. You need constant efforts, constant investments in R&D to make it successful. Americans still today are investing very heavily on the jet engine technology. They're constantly evolving, they're constantly improving that. Now they have got a jet engine. I can just tell you, just to give an example, they have a 200 kilonewton engine which they are using in F-35, while others don't have even that much. Russians don't have it. They have a very they have a engine, but it's very bulky. So you require a very bigger aircraft like Su-35 kind of a thing. So what I was trying to say was that DRDO, started the work and they were doing good work. They got funds, but they got the funds in bits and pieces. So I can tell you the information which I have is that the DRDO spent 3,000 crores on Kaveri Engine. Now, you will say that 30,000 crores is a big amount. No, friends, 3,000 crores is not a big amount if you take into consideration two things. One, that this program started in 1988, and the 3,000 crores figure is still 2015 or 2018, I suppose. So that's a big number for for 30 years. For 30 years, you're spending 3,000 crores. I mean, that is just, I mean, bullshit kind of a thing, you can say. Second thing is, when the engine was designed, it was designed for a smaller energy requirement. It was a very small requirement because of LCA. So that time they thought, LCA will run at 50 kilonewton of wet thrust, and that will be enough for us. Uh, but as in but in the last 30 years, the technology has taken leaps and bounds of progress. uh, Americans, the French, the Europeans, they have developed, faster flying and more fuel efficient and lots of technological products and innovations in the fighter jets. So fighter jets now require a very high thrust jet engine. So India also now realized, oh yeah, we made a mistake with LCA. So now what they did was, and they were, and DRDO and GTRE, the division of DRDO, Gas Turbine Research Entity Establishment, sorry, uh, Gas Turbine Research Establishment (GTRE), a division of DRDO, who were entrusted with the work of developing this jet fighter jet engine. So GTRE could not develop that. Naturally, they started from scratch. At that time, we didn't have our own infrastructure. We didn't have our own fighter jet. We didn't have anything. In terms of aerospace technology, we had zero knowledge. But slowly and slowly, LCA came, and we finally went with LCA. And now we are coming with medium weight fighter. So at DRDO did some work with those limited resources, and they did a fairly good job. I'm not saying that DRDO is the best and this and that. I will not go into jingoism. There are problems within DRDO. There is heavy corruption there, nepotism, and all those things are there. But still, there are people. There are very good minds in DRDO and committed nationalist scientists, but they were falling short of numbers. In 2014, in fact, DRDO chief wrote to the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister saying that we have shortfall of 417 scientists. You please sanction 417 scientists for the R&D work that we are doing, because DRDO is working on many technologies. They are working for submarines, they are working for fighter jets, they are working for radars, they are working for armored vehicles, they are working for mm, ammunition development. They are doing many things at the same time. So their plate is full, But if you have to work on a fighter jet engine technology, then you require huge investments. So at that time, the experts who were tracking that were saying that you have to spend 12,000 crores on a Kaveri engine of 100 kilonewton, which the government wanted for LCA. So the government did not sanction that money. Now, why it was not sanctioned was because the Western powers, the European powers, they said that if this Kaveri engine is developed, then who will buy our products? So they arm twisted the government of India, and they did not allow this program to move ahead. And that happened since 1988 too. So DRDO, many DRDO scientists were killed, many mysteriously, died and disappeared and all those things. And that has been hidden from the public of our country. Others will create a lot of bad impressions against the government. People will ask questions, and it will create a big fuss. So government is in a tight spot. Plus the MOD and the South Bloc, there is heavy corruption, nepotism, greasing of palms by the foreign vendors. Because if India becomes self-sufficient in jet engine technology, in fighter jets, then how will these people get big fat bribes and free foreign tours and free luxury and honey and free booze parties and all those things? How will they get it? So it was deliberately not sanctioned. It was not allowed to, succeed. Otherwise, I am 100% sure. In fact, I'm 200% sure that Indian brains are one of the best in the world, and we could have easily, uh, made our own fighter jet engine of 100 kilonewton, 100 kn thrust. We can easily generate. Easily in the sense, I mean, not that easily, but easily in the sense that we can generate. The confidence is there, but the lack of funds and the lack of resources and the lack of commitment by the government is, these things are the hindrances. Now, why I am doing this stream, I'll tell you. In 2000, the government, 2014, this Modi government said, no, no, we will not be able to recruit this 417. That time, the finance minister and the defense minister was Arun Jaitley. Immediately after Modi won, he made him both the finance minister and the defense minister. And he was the Chanakya, he was the main Sarathi of Modi, Narendra Modi. So he said, no, no, we don't have that much funds for DRDO. Sorry, we will not be able to recruit them. Whatever you have, you use your limited resources and continue. Then the DRDO chief was replaced. Mr. Kasturi Ranjan was the DRDO chief, and he was removed and he was placed somewhere else. He was placed in PM or something, and now this Satish Reddy was appointed. So Satish Reddy is doing a good job, Dr. Satish Reddy, and he's now the DRDO chief since then. They have done a fairly good job. I won't say they have been excellent, but they have been average. Before that, in Congress regime, the situation was very, far worse. But anyhow, I will not go into all those things. So to keep it short, this jet engine, Kaveri engine program, the DRDO got some money, but they were not able to develop, and the government, put the entire blame on DRDO, and the it was scrapped. Then in 2016, suddenly in September, uh, Modi government foolishly, purchased 36 Rafale aircrafts from the French company Dassault Aviation for 59,000 crores. 59,000 crores. So, friends, can you imagine 36 aircraft they have purchased for 59,000 crores? So, one aircraft was costing 1,671 crores along with the missiles and everything. But the deal was that there was a 50% offset clause, that 50% of that money will be invested by Dassault Aviation in Indian manufacturing, in Indian spare parts, in Indian programs. And one of the deal's main criteria was that they will revive the Kaveri engine program with that money, and DRDO will be helped, because DRDO said we only need core engine technology. That single crystal blade problem was solved by DRDO. So the hot core was not able to, DRDO was not able to sort it out. There was some screech problem, and there was some noise problem issues. So hot core was creating troubles, and DRDO needed help. So they thought with 50% offset clause, we will be able to develop our, and we will get the help from Dassault Aviation. Now these French were very smart. They know how to handle Indians. They agreed to it. Okay, okay, 50% will invest, but you have to spend this much. You have to give us 59,000 crores for this 36 aircrafts. So, sorry. So what happened was DRDO thought they will invest. The now French were very smart. They said yes, yes, yes. You first give us the money. Indians gave them the 25% advance, and the deal was signed. And the deliveries was supposed to start within 3 years from September 2019. But as with so in 3 years they said yes, we will invest. First, we'll give you training to the IAF personnel. And DRDO said, okay, we will study your program. You give us all the technical data. You give us all your reports and everything. So they studied and they wasted the time of DRDO. And after that, what happened was they refused to help. They said no, to revive the Kaveri Engine program and to invest. You will have DRDO has to spend additional money. This will be our investments, and the figures they quoted was too high, too high, too high, and that was deliberately done. They knew that Indians will reject it. They know that. And now DRDO, the government of India realized, अरे यार हमको तो मूर्ख बना दिया. We have been fooled. So demanded huge money. DRDO said we have done the entire development. We have developed our own fan, our blade, and everything. We just need help in your the hot in core. But they said no, no. You have to develop the full engine again. Now, if you have to develop the full engine again, it requires a lot of investments, and the intellectual property rights will again create a dispute. And Deso said, if you have, if everything is new from us, we will have our royalty or our intellectual property rights for it. Now, DRDO rejected it, and the French never invested the money. So they pocketed all the profits, and now the government is in loggerheads. They're in fight with these companies. Same was done by Boeing. Same was done by Lockheed Martin. Now, same has been done by Israel Defense Industry. All these foreign vendors, they know that Indians are foolish. This offset clause is just a way to grab the order, and then we can ditch them. They have never invested. Now, Rajnath Singh has fined them, given them lot of warnings, but they know how, without our missiles, without our weapons, where will India go? And they have the kill switch. They can easily manipulate the Indians. They can arm twist us anytime. So Rajnath Singh is just issuing paper threats. We will ban you. We will do this. We will do that. They have imposed fines, small fines, bits and tokens of fines, and soon the matter will be dead. But now, friends, you imagine if you take the 59,000 crore order, you take the 50% offset clause, it roughly comes to roughly, or it comes to 29,500 crores. Can you imagine 29,500 crores given to Indian industries? DRDO said, "You give us 12,000 crores, we will constantly, work on this Kaveri engine or a jet engine, or we can develop a more powerful engine also. You give us the money, we will develop it. Okay, it will take time. It will not be a one day's job. There are other entities who could help." Now, I also pitched in. At that time, I was a big BJP supporter and Modi supporter, and very passionate. And I felt I can do. Because it is in my blood to be an entrepreneur, and I had very good ideas. So I wrote to the Defense Ministry website and emailed them that this Kaveri engine program should be revised, and you invest 12,000 crores. And I've got a very big idea. I had an idea of forming a consortium, and I thought I can lead that and create a infrastructure within our country. So not only will the DRD be able to uh, manufacture the jet engine, we will sorry, to develop the jet engine, but we will manufacture it also and of various capacities. We will be able to develop form a consortium of the government and the private enterprises, big private enterprises, and develop helicopters, this jet engines, and core this thing, the single crystal blade, and all those things we could develop. I had lot many ideas and gave the government a presentation, but I never got a reply. And I was so foolish. I thought because I was very naive, and I thought everybody is nationalistic and everybody will be happy with my idea. But I was so foolish. I should have realized that there are sharks and crocodiles sitting in ministries who eat up the meat and won't even let anybody notice. So they have this big fat bribes which are given to them in their offshore accounts. So they will not let all these schemes to get passed. By the way, if that scheme had passed, if my idea had generated, my idea was to invest 75,000 crores in the aerospace program of India, and we could have developed our own helicopters, own fighter jets, own jet engines, own UAVs, all those things within that system, and the country could have saved around 2 lakh to 3 lakh crores, 3 lakh crores of rupees. Plus, it would have given employment to directly and indirectly to roughly around 200,000 people, to 2 lakh people. 2 लाख लोगों को रोजगार मिल जाता, हमारे देश के 2 लाख लोगों को, और अच्छी खासी हमारे देश का पैसा बचता, करीब 3 लाख करोड़ रुपया बचता, और इस देश को आत्मनिर्भरता, सच में आत्मनिर्भरता मिल जाती। मगर ऐसा हुआ नहीं, और मैं मूर्खों की तरह मैं समझ गया, लेकिन मैं 6 महीने और 1 साल के बाद भी मैं काफ़ी कुछ मुझे अंदर की खबरें मिलने लगी, क्योंकि मैं की पार्टी से जुड़ा था, तो मेरे को कई ऐसे लोग मिले जो पुराने इसके खिलाड़ी थे, और उन्होंने बताया कि भाई सब आप जैसा सोच रहे हो वैसा नहीं है, और बहुत भ्रष्टाचार और सब जगह फैला हुआ है। So I said, okay, okay, yeah, that's bogus. And then I came to know the international conspiracy and the players who are there involved in that. So all these foreign entities, the Americans, the Israelis, the Russians, the French, the Germans, they don't want India to be self-reliant, and they see to it that any good brainy guy, either they absorb in their own country, or they get them killed if he or she is working for India's. So many Indian scientists have been killed, and many programs have been deliberately stopped. Nambi Narayan case, you know very well. He was one of the genius, but see what happened with him, and that cryogenic engine program got delayed. Any anyway, so what I'm saying is, uh, this is what happened, and after that also, when I've tracked this military news, and I used to speak to military experts and scientists and all those things. So they told us that the government is unwilling to invest in Kaveri engine fully. They just give us breadcrumb type of money. आपको चिल्लर टाइप पैसा देंगे तो आप उससे कैसे काम चलाएंगे, उसके लिए बड़ा बजट की जरूरत है। तो बड़ा बजट उनको दिया नहीं गया, तो बड़ा बजट नहीं दिया तो इसके लिए वो प्रॉब्लम हो गया। तो अरे मैंने वो लिंक तो शेयर ही नहीं किया, सॉरी फ्रेंड्स। में आई थिंक सो समबडी anybody wants to join? I think so only one guy is watching my channel. Okay, anyway, so if you want to join, you please let me know. You are most welcome to join for a live discussion. So huh, so what was I saying? Yes, so after that, Arun Jaitley, he was a shrewd politician, and he had his own he was a fixer in Delhi. Everybody knew in Delhi that he was a fixer for Congress, for BJP, for everybody. He was a advocate and a lawyer, so attorneys job is to manipulate words and create all these things. So he was a manipulator, master manipulator. So through him, they made sure that this Kaveri Engine program did not go ahead much. Manohar Parrikar wanted to do something, but unfortunately, that guy had cancer and he had to run off. Otherwise, I'm sure that he would have definitely done something about it. So now this Deso has cheated Indians. Now Indians are very foolishly, praising Rafael has come, Rafael, Rafael, Rafael. But friends, you have not understood. Okay, Rafael is a very good aircraft, but you understand at what cost? You have to spend 59,000 crores. Can India afford that? We should have, in fact, invested in Dassault Aviation shares. We could have purchased the entire Dassault Aviation company. They were not doing well. They were in great debt and all those things. But after India came into the picture, now they are getting lot many orders. Anyway, so what was I saying? Uh, so had proper funds been given to DRDO, had private players been introduced, Kaveri engine could have been revised. Bharat Forge chairman Baba Kalyani said that we are giving lot of single crystal blade technology products to Rolls-Royce. We are doing development for them. We have certain know-how, and if the government supports us, we would like to invest in jet engine manufacturing. But the government gave them a cold shoulder also. Now they have developed their own jet engine. They have developed a very small jet engine, 10 kilonewton or something thrust for UAVs or something. So Baba Kalyani is doing a good job. He has developed many good products for the Indian Army. ATG, ATAGS they have developed. Now they have developed octa-core, octa-copter UAV also, which can carry a payload of 70, 80 kgs or something. So they're coming up with good products. Now, what I want to say to all my friends is that Japan has also now developed their own jet engine, uh, which is of 150 kilonewtons. It's called XF9. Japanese also understood that Americans are unwilling to giving them technology for this jet engine and all those things. Although Japan is a very strong ally of America, but they were being denied with the technology. So Japanese thought we will develop our own engine. So Japanese, they work very systematically. They planned it out. They had first developed a 50 kilonewton engine. Then they developed a 75 kilonewton engine. They mastered it. Then they developed a 100 kilonewton engine. They mastered it. Then they developed a 125 kilonewton engine. And now they have come up with a 150 kilonewton engine, XF9. And Japan is now developing the sixth generation fighter jet aircraft for Japan, and they are looking for partners. Uh, Earlier, Japan had a policy that they will not share their military and they will not export their military products. But now that policy has been done away with. That policy was effective from World War II. After World War II, for 70 years, Japan did not export. So they have very good products in terms of military hardware and software, but Japanese are very reluctant. But now they're willing to tie up with India because they know India has the numbers and it can take on China because China is eyeing Japan. It wants to destroy Japan. So and Americans, everybody knows they just take the money. Japan has been spending a lot of money, and they are not getting all those help from the Americans in return. So Japan has decided to go ahead with its own military program, and now they have increased their budget substantially. So they are ready to partner. I would request DRDO and Government of India and MOD to go and tie up with Japanese. If you go with a proper approach, with a nice intention, and with a with no corruption in mind and no no scheme of getting any kickbacks from the Japanese. They will be more than happy to help you, and jointly you can create a public private partnership kind of a thing, or a government, or you can do a government to government deal, and together they can help you and you can also help them. So it can be a win-win situation for the Indo-Japanese military setup. So I would request DRDO to take it up, and MOD also to take it up. And Japanese have done a wonderful program. It's a very lightweight jet engine, and it produces 150 kilonewton thrust. So it will be very helpful for AMCA, and it will be very helpful for future fighter jet programs, for UAVs, for many things. It can be helpful. Even for MWF, medium weight fighter, if you go ahead with that, I mean, it will be a win-win situation for us. And if you don't want to go for XF9, you can seek their help to go for this hot core, and you can make your own 110 kilonewton or 125 kilonewton Kaveri engine. So, friend, this is what I wanted to say for today, and I have done that. Generally, I don't make videos frequently on military technology and military issues and security issues. So my audience is mainly on the religious and the dharmic side. I talk about history, our heritage, traditions, and the uh, jihad which is going on against the native people of Bharat. So my audience is generally that. But those who are interested can please comment, and if you like this video, you can comment, and we can uh, m- talk about such programs more frequently. By the way, I love channels of Defense Decode Amit Kashyap. I like his channel. He's making good videos and he has a lot of knowledge, technical knowledge. But of late now he has reduced all the technical, because he used to give a lot of detailed presentation, and people didn't used to like it. Everybody is interested only in the gossip or the news. So now he's concentrating more on the news. But he has one of the best brains. He used to do good presentation. Then there's another guy called Global Conflict. He also is a veteran in the YouTube circuit, and on the he shares a lot of news on military and the security issues of India. So such friends are welcome. We can talk about it and we can discuss some issues if you want. So that's it for today, friends. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.